Been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
All right, come on now.
Oh. Pour me some of that Crown. The generous guy today is Chris Faber. Chris Faber's last show. My name's Dave Guidrelli. I'm joined by Chris Faber. We were drinking some Crown today, courtessy of our friends over at
the man who built the place. What happened to that? That's done, eh?
That's done. You're never getting close. I'm just kidding. You know, there's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot going on.
Get my ginger ale in here.
Yeah,
I'm a Crown and ginger guy.
Nice. I got my Crown. I'm ready to go. We should mention off the top, of course, that this show is brought to you by the great folks over at Zephyr Epic.
Pass me a pack.
We've got one pack left each.
Okay.
Harman and I are going to keep doing this, though. Courtesy of our friends over at Zephyr Epic. If you want to get yourself some hockey cards, go visit them online at zephyrepic.com. That is ZEPHYR epic.com. If you want to shop in person, they have their retail location in Surrey, British Columbia. So be sure to go check them out there.
I was hoping it was going to be like, autographed Elias Pettersson to finish.
That'd be something.
It's a Connor Bunnaman. What a way to go out. Connor Bunnaman from the Flyers. Philadelphia Flyers.
Keep telling the people about Zephyr while I open this.
Zephyr, the great folks. I'm going to miss the folks at Zephyr. You're going to have to start doing the visits now with them, which I hope you have a good time with them, because I've had a great time with the Zephyr folks. Another shout out to the Atlas Goods folks as well. They've been on board for a long time. Mm-hmm. Just some of the sponsors that have helped us be able to do this show. And, there's just a lot of people. We'll talk about the Canucks first. We'll do a lot of the sappy stuff at the end of the show.
Yeah, and we've got Harman Dayal joining at 1:45. So let's try to focus on the game for now, because 10-1 domination. And we have this clip in the work tape, Grady. I threw it in on the train ride over here, but this kid with the sign. Can we start there?
Oh no.
Can we start
got this?
With the kid with the sign? I don't know if you have this, Grady. It's in there somewhere. Sorry, it was a late edition. I don't tell producers anything. So
no.
It's in there somewhere, but everybody knows. Imagine you're this kid's dad, okay? Or mom, whoever. You save up your hard-earned dollars. You go to the SAP Arena or whatever it's called, SAP Center. You and 9,000 other people sitting in there watching the Sharks just get absolutely demolished by the Vancouver Canucks. I think if you're the kid, it's your first experience, I'll tell you what, that kid's not going to another Sharks game. Oh. Not for a while.
He's going to give a good run at, watching what are some of the other teams up to. Go watch the Warriors play. Cross the bridge over there and go watch, go to Oakland and watch that's a tough spot for the kid. I felt so bad, and good job by the camera crew.
Picking that up.
Camera crew to pick that up.
Camera crew was on it.
Oh, the poor kid, though. I think that's tough.
We got someone in the YouTube live chat here. Vector Hingle says, Faber refuses to bring cards to my kids. Sharks and Faber, both disappointing children.
I'll bring I bring the cards to the kids.
I know. I want to know the story
here. Get into my DMs. Actually, the cards now. My wife, who works at the Children's Hospital, asked, "Hey, since you're not going to be giving away the cards to anyone, why don't we fill up a shoebox?" And she's just giving away the kids at the Children's Hospital. So
they listen to the show. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness!
I'm just joking.
No, the kids at the Children's Hospital. We've given away some packs to the kids.
Yeah.
Some extra ones that have laid around to those kids there. So we're gonna keep that going. Kids are still gonna get them. Vector getting the DMs with quads. He'll get you the cards.
You know what I'm thinking of doing?
I don't think I've been refusing to give cards to kids. Come on. I love the kids.
As we transition from giving all the cards to the kids at the Children's Hospital, I think I'm gonna take the cards that I have, because I got a good amount here. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna build a wall just of hockey cards in my apartment, and that'll be my backdrop.
You're the one taking away from the kids all the time.
Whatever.
It's you that's always taking away from the kids.
Well, I need a backdrop.
I sort them nicely. I have my just Canucks cards, just cool inserts, and then big stacks of cards, and I put them together for the kids. I put them in the bags.
Vector says he is in your DMs, getting ignored.
I got a lot of DMs lately.
Oh yeah, Mr. Big Shot. I love that turtle.
I'll get.
It's a good look.
Vector, I'll get you those damn cards then.
Yeah, Vector.
That'll be my final thing. I'm still working for friggin' Nation Network for 2 days.
That's right, and I keep reminding you of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, you are.
I have to keep reminding you. Okay, let's open the outline here. What do you got planned? Where do you want to start from last night's game? Is if I start talking about the game, are you gonna be like, no, I wanted to talk about this.
No, I want to talk about the game. Come on,
Okay,
10-1.
good. So where in the game do you want to start? Because I want to start with the Sharks shutdown line actually almost shutting down one Canuck line, but then the other three lines just outmatching everybody they were up against. But the Miller line actually held kind of quiet at 5-on-5. That was the takeaway from the statsies that I had by Mike Liu, edited those moments ago.
They didn't play much at all in the rest of the game. I mean, that power play.
Yes.
The game went exactly like you wanted it to go. The Stars were the one that put this game away early.
Mm-hmm.
They put it away early. They scored a lot. The fifth and sixth goals came from Mikheyev and Kuzmenko, some guys who, nice to pad the stats a little bit for those guys. And then 7, 8, 9, 10. It's all the guys that you were hoping to get a couple goals out of, right?
Yes.
It's Pius Suter gets his first of the year. Beauvillier gets his first and second of the year. I just think the game went perfect yesterday for what you expect playing against a team like the San Jose Sharks, who just flat out aren't good. They're not a good team. So I thought it was an excellent performance in the end. You think that they should challenge at the end, didn't you? Your goalie guide over there. And Grady, I'm sure, is on the same boat.
So here's the
challenge
thing.
that, I'm assuming.
Here's the
That's BS. You don't challenge it. I'm saying it right
now.
No,
you don't. I thought about it more. My instant reaction was, okay, they have to challenge that. Your goalie's pitching shutout. Demko wanted it challenged. Demko wanted it challenged.
Oh, for sure.
In a year where you're going for the Vezina Trophy, Thatcher Demko's already got one shutout. Having 2 shutouts through 10 games, hey, if you're making a pitch for the Vezina, which we know Thatcher Demko obviously is,
sure,
that is a good way to start by having 2 shutouts to your name. He doesn't have a shutout next to his name, and no one in the East is going to say, well, he almost had and I shouldn't even say in the East, it's GMs that vote on this award, but nobody's going to say, well, he almost had a shutout. No, that's not how it works. They're going to look at who has the most shutouts, and Thatcher Demko wants to be on that list. Look, man, I wanted that challenge for Demko. In immediately, I wanted it, and then all it took was someone commenting on my article for CanucksArmy.com, and they said, they play the Sharks 2 more times. Some idiot on the Sharks is going to go take off Quinn Hughes' head in the next game. Maybe not Quinn Hughes, anybody. The Canucks have a few guys that you don't want to lose. Petey, Hronek, even Mark Friedman, who took a shot off the face. Dire moment for Mark Friedman there. Really unlucky game for him last night, but you don't want to lose guys. And I get it. Like, you don't want to give the Sharks any bulletin board material, and that's what that would have been if you're up 10-0 and you challenge it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's a shutout. That's fair game. I think it's fair game. I don't know.
What's Grady? Grady, let's get you in here, producer. Did you mention Grady yet on the show here?
Oh yeah, Grady's a
goalie guy. I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Yeah, I tweeted it out. It would have been nice for him to preserve the shutout, but I just couldn't imagine like the code reaction, especially as you guys mentioned, they play the Sharks a couple more times. Like, you can't be, the score is already what it was at that point. I couldn't imagine David Quinn, happy with talking if that happened, but I tweeted it out. I felt bad because there was probably a guy out there that had -9.5 puck line on Betway. He was the one that got screwed. They should have challenged just for that. Come on, they got to think of the degenerates out there.
I wonder what the value you could get on that before the game was. Like, I'm going to bet 9.5 on the puck line tonight. Just, I got a feeling Canucks are going to win by 10.
I will tell you that a lot of people were happy because one of the options in the Wendy's Daily Faceoff Survivor pool yesterday was Vancouver Canucks over 1.5 goals in the first period. And that was a low one. Not a lot of people picked it.
We had a big hit yesterday. Plus 500 yesterday. JT Miller to score
on the Betway bet of the day.
Yeah, bet of the day. That's what.
But on Daily Faceoff Survivor Pool, I'm still alive.
Oh, really?
And you can see who is still kicking. There ain't that many people still alive. I'll pull up the exact numbers.
Get your read in here for Wendy's then.
Well, first I want to pull up the actual game. Okay, so 549 people entered the game this week, and only 236 are remaining. I'm one of those 236, and my pick tonight is the Sabres to win. If you missed out on this week, there's still time to get ready for the next game, which starts in 3 days. We've already got 548 people ready to go for that one. 3 days until that one's on. You can check it out at dailyfaceoffsurvivor.com. The Wendy's Daily Faceoff Survivor Pool lives on dailyfaceoff.com. Weekly prizes and a season-long prize of $5,000 is up for grabs. Sign up and you get free stuff on the Wendy's app. You pick a prop that'll happen in a game, and the longer you survive with correct answers, the more you can win from Wendy's.
And
Tell
you
you
win
what.
stuff every week too. If you just
Yes.
sign up, you're getting free stuff on the
Yes.
Wendy's app.
And I'll tell you what, I had a barbecue bacon cheeseburger the other day, like 2 days ago. Or no, it was yesterday. I had it yesterday.
You had it last week.
Yeah, I had it last week. I had one yesterday too. It's delicious. Barbecue bacon cheeseburger, fresh, never frozen, 100% Canadian beef, applewood smoked bacon, crispy onions, and melted cheese.
It's not the melted cheese, it's the onions. It's the crispy onions.
The onions are so good.
I got a thing of the they're called little dillies, and they're pickle flavored crispy onions.
All right.
I might slide some.
And those are all covered, of course, with a sweet and smoky barbecue sauce. Check it out at Wendy's. Okay, before we get to Harman Dayal, who's joining us in moments.
What's your favorite barbecue sauce? Sweet and smoky, or is there another one? I like Chipotle barbecue sauce.
I don't know. I haven't really explored barbecue sauces enough. Also, how much Crown did you put in here?
Not much. Look at the bottles.
Are
I
you
barely had a
sure?
touch. Yeah.
This is strong.
Yours is a lot less than mine. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. This feels pretty strong, and I usually drink a lot of Crown. Anyways,
Mr. Quads over here.
yeah. Well, I'm, sad day. Although I should say, I'm heading.
Hey, no.
Yes, Grady, amazing.
I
Grady,
said this on Rinkwide yesterday. Grady Sass going to be the star of the show moving forward.
Yeah.
Good producer work over here.
Yeah, Grady's
the best.
Grady's a great producer. Grady, you can go ahead and clip this. We want this on Twitter as well. That's a great pull.
What's a smile like?
Are you trying to do the smile right now?
I don't know. I can't open my eyes.
Oh, okay.
Especially now I have a couple drinks here.
Okay. The BC Lions are in action tomorrow. You're going to be at the game. I'm going to be at the game. Bring the noise.
No, I got to work, actually. Believe it or
You're
not.
not going to the game anymore?
No, I got to work.
You've been talking about it all week that you're going to the game.
And I can't now because I can't go and not have a drink. I got to work after.
Just, okay. Well, I'll be bringing the noise and filling the dome. Home playoff game on Saturday, November 4th at 3:30. Tickets are on sale now at bclions.com. They start at just $30, and kids 17 and under can get in for just $15. And Faber's got his claw. He's ready
Be
to
sitting here doing nothing.
work.
I got to work on Saturday.
I guess. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're going to be watching the game from home?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could throw a rock and I could hit the arena, but I'm stuck here at home getting prepared for the hockey game.
All right.
For you, working for you.
Yeah. Let's get all of our business out of the way so we can just enjoy the end of the show.
Yeah, let's get it all done.
So if you're sitting at home,
well,
that's a long day watching sports.
And anyone else later on.
Yeah, later on.
That later on.
But
I want to interact with the chat on the way out here.
yeah,
too.
we will.
I tweeted out. I want people that maybe you've never been in the chat before.
I got a plan. Similar to what your plan's going to be tomorrow. When you're sitting on the couch, drinking yourself some 4 Winds light lager. Family owned and operated in
Not
Delta.
just Crown today, fellas. I got one of these too. I'm going to have one of these at some point.
It's home to the 4 Winds light lager, a crisp, clean, and easy drinking beer. A beer for everyone. A perfect beer for before, after, or during the game. While you're sitting at home watching the BC Lions before you flip over to the Canucks game on Hockey Night in Canada against the 7-1-1 Dallas Stars. How's it going, Oilers? Drink yourself some 4 Winds light
Aaron
lager.
in the chat too. He's in the
Ask
chat.
for it at your local liquor store or have some delivered right to your door through the online shop at 4windsbrewing.ca. Got any prospect stuff?
No. Jonathan Lekarmaki was sick yesterday. Nothing too bad. Don't worry. It's not mono. So don't worry about that. He was just a little under the weather. That's why he didn't play yesterday. So nothing from him. I watched a little bit of Lucas Forsell, and then I turned on the game yesterday just to get a quick glimpse of Hunter Brustevich. As soon as the game loads up here on my computer, I got it on the second screen. Puts up a point. I said, "God, this guy knows when I'm watching him. He puts up the points." And he was named, he was OHL Player of the Month. You see, Quinn Hughes also got NHL Player of the Week.
Yep.
Like the Canucks can't stop winning awards.
Month. Player of the month.
No, it was Player of the Week.
Was it?
Quinn Hughes, Player of the Week.
Oh, NHLPA. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. It was okay. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
No, it's all right. Thunder's all yours on starting on Monday, bud.
I'm very excited. That sounded like the what's that sound? When your AirPods are low on battery? That's what that sound just was. Yeah, there it is.
No, I can't do it again.
That's got to be how they made the sound.
Have you ever seen that ping pong video where they do the Super Mario song on accident? The guy's playing ping pong against the wall, and it goes. It's the perfect.
Is that real though?
I think it is. Because he's like, he stops and listens. He's like, "Oh, did you hear that?" And the guy's like, "No." And then he's like, "That was a Super Mario."
I want to believe. Oh no, that is real. Yeah. I think you're right.
It's a real one.
Okay.
It's the grainy video. The grainy videos, they're always real.
Okay.
If it was recorded on a digital camera in 2009, it's real. No matter
Chris
what.
Faber, noted believer in Bigfoot.
I'd believe in the Loch Ness Monster. I don't believe in Bigfoot. If Bigfoot would have been found by now, because when you're on land, there's a lot more. There's what do they got? The game cameras. Those are all over the place. They would have seen Bigfoot by now, but
thermal
the water,
drones and stuff.
The water is what I'm worried about. The water, there's no cameras underwater. There's no game cameras underwater. I would think there's a better chance of Loch Ness Monster being real. And I know there's one down on Vancouver Island, the giant salamander living up in Port Alberni there by those big old trees. That big lake, it's so deep they can't get to the bottom of it. A train sunk to it. Somebody can help me here. Brennan Lake, I think.
I have no idea what
up there in Port Alberni.
You're just saying words. You Googling it?
Yeah.
Okay, as he Googles it, let's bring in our guest. This is an ad read to do here.
Cameron Lake. It's on the way in. They got a giant salamander living in there.
Yeah.
And you can't tell how deep it is. It's not the biggest lake, and it's cold. It's cold no matter what it is. I think that's from the salamander.
All right.
Cameron Lake. Thank you, antagonist.
Yeah, we got someone in there. Karan Faber is already drunk. Let's bring him in. Harman Dayal, my new co-host. Harman, we're a bit off the rails today, just so you know. We're literally just drinking Crown, so it's a good thing you're driving later. I am not driving today, and neither.
When are you guys not off the rails? This is awesome. What a conversation to walk into. And by the way, right off the top, I have two things to say. What a final party gift for Faber. 10-1, like just demolishing the Sharks. And second, quads. I was at Tuwassa Mills picking up shoes the other day, and I nearly bought that exact same shacket that you have right there, and it didn't. I bought a different color. So I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing.
No, it's good. It's good. We shouldn't have matching shackets. Faber and I did the matching thing. That was our thing. You and I are going to be well dressed for the show, Harman. And hey, like you and I are going to the studio today. We're very excited. That's a lot of Crown, big guy.
It's my last day.
Okay.
Is it actually Crown?
Yeah, no, we're legitimately drinking Crown. We're a sponsor, and like we were like, can we drink on the show? And our bosses and Crown and everybody was like, yeah, go ahead. Just don't get obnoxious. And
I'll be fine tonight. Just don't come see me around like 9:30 tonight.
Quads, are you old enough to be drinking yet?
That's the number one thing that people in the chat are bringing up. Is, are you old enough to be drinking?
The F guys at the door, like for me serving a minor.
Yeah, I gotta get ID'd.
Hey, if the cops knock, just hide.
Yeah.
I've got the ID to back it up.
Harm, what'd you think of a 10-1 win? Quads wishes that they challenge. What did you think about it? Should they have challenged?
They should have challenged.
No. I mean, that's just. Do you want Quinn Hughes to get jumped?
Like, that's actually what I said.
If I'm on San Jose and you're gonna challenge me on a 10-1 goal, I'm legit jumping somebody the next shift. But no, I mean, what a statement win. And honestly, of course, the big discussion, the big headline is going to be the star performances, right? Hughes having 5 points, Pettersson dominating, Miller, Besser, but a couple of underrated storylines that I think also are good to see for this team moving forward. Beauvillier and Suter both getting their first goals. I just think from a confidence perspective, to get the monkey off the back, hopefully get the bottom six rolling more consistently offensively, I think that's massive. And it just, especially for these guys that are still relatively new to the team, Beauvillier only joining at the trade deadline, Suter trying to make his first impression with the Canucks, it's extra pressure, right? There's already some level of, gripping the stick tightly and feeling a little bit down on yourself and the pressure to score. And then you add, it's a new team, it's a new city, it's a new environment for Suter especially. And I think it's massive to sort of just get that out of the way, not have that in his head anymore. And then also the fact that they were able to begin crushing the Sharks so early, the fact that they were able to manage the top guys' ice time and essentially give them, a much needed breather. Like Quinn Hughes played 18 minutes last night. You look at Pettersson, Miller, Besser, all in the 14 to 15 minute range. Mikheyev still coming back from his ACL surgery. You want to manage his workload under 12 minutes. That's a nice luxury for the Canucks to be able to afford, because their top stars are going to be so influential and so important in continuing to drive the bus.
Anything else you wanted to bring up?
Well,
I
just thought, to add to what Harman just said, there's what you should do as a good co-host. I think what you saw last night was it was exactly how you wanted it to go. The Stars put the game away early. Then you got a couple guys in the middle there with Kuzmenko and Mikheyev adding a goal. But then it was all about what you said, the confidence for these guys like Pius Suter and seeing Anthony Beauvillier pot a couple. Like, it feels like when you're in that spot and you're in game 10, the hardest thing to do is just like get that first goal of the season for these guys, especially on like a new team for Pius Suter and Beauvillier. Still, I know he came here last year, but I think for him to start the season, if we would have gone 10 games without a goal, a lot more questions are being asked. So it felt like it was a perfect game. And I said this on Rinkwide yesterday when I was with JPAT, but I know that the Canucks last night wasn't the biggest test, but there was still a level of like, this could be a trap game. It's another thing that they have to pass. It wasn't the hardest test. It was
it mattered a hell of a lot more than people not in Vancouver think it did.
Yes. Good
like
point.
This game actually mattered quite a bit that the Canucks were able to take care of business the way they did. Look, it doesn't mean they're cup contenders, but it does mean that, yeah, they had the good start, but they're also not getting cocky. Like, we've seen this team go on heaters before and then drop a game like this to a bad team. And then all of a sudden you just remember all the bad habits that they have that they sometimes put away for a night or two, but just kept creeping back. Look, they had a game like this in Philadelphia. Like, they had a game in Philadelphia where we thought they would win and they came out and had a stinker, and Tocchet quickly nipped that in the bud. And I like that from Tocchet. The fact that they came out the way they did last night, that mattered a hell of a lot more than I think people realize.
See, I'd actually disagree there. Not that it doesn't matter, because I loved seeing the huge W, but for a game to be a trap game, I think the other team has to be sneaky competitive. And what I mean by that is, you look at Philly, for example, that's actually a trap game because, first of all, John Tortorella coach team, they're coming firing out of the gates right away. There is absolutely no passenger there. Plus, that team has legit talent. They've got Couturier, Konechny, Tippett, young guys coming. Travis Sanheim's had a huge bounce back year. Like, quietly, especially up front, that team from lines 1 to 4, you look at what Philly's did to, for example, Edmonton, even that, even though they're a team that's expected to finish in the bottom of the basement, they're still competitive enough to be a trap game. Whereas San Jose, oh my goodness, just watching the level of, from every state of the game, the goaltending, the defense. I mean, like, I love Kyle Burrows, but like, how are we in a world where he's quarterbacking that first unit?
That's
right?
Eric Carlson's replacement. Like, they replaced Erik Karlsson, who won the Norris, with Kyle Burrows.
Right? So, I mean, the way I look at it is the Sharks were just so bad on paper that I don't think it was a trap game anyway, but I still love to see the way the Canucks performed. And to go back to, Faber, what you were mentioning about Suter and Beauvillier, I mean, imagine in that type of goal parade, how down on yourself you'd feel if you somehow didn't get your first goal.
Right.
Well, Faber took a drink. The Betway bets of the day over at Canucks Army that Nikhil wrote, he's like, I can't believe Quinn Hughes didn't get over 2.5 shots. Like, he finished the night with 2 shots. He took 2 shots in the first period and didn't register a shot on goal the rest of the game.
I'm pretty sure my friend built a parlay on, and like, the only thing he needed to hit this massive parlay to 10x, whatever he'd bet, was Quinn Hughes over 2.5 shots. So there were texts in the group chat last night where a lot of people seem to be lamenting Quinn Hughes not getting that third shot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did that because he's been averaging like 3.9 shots a game.
Should have just followed what we were doing. I hit you with a plus 500 parlay yesterday, and it hammered.
Everybody's got to be watching this show, and they will be on Monday when Harman's my new co-host.
Let me get a couple of questions into Harm here as the new co-host. Harm, 5 days a week, something you've never done before. What are you most worried about doing 5 shows a week?
Most worried about? Honestly, not really worried about a lot. I mean, obviously it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be a learning curve, but I also think the consistency of how often you're doing it, we're going to build chemistry really fast, I feel like. And especially having had, some chemistry with you guys in the past. And, I've always felt coming on the pod, whether it's doing hits like this, like these are the types of conversations, even though it's technically like a podcast or recorded, like it's the type of conversation we'd have at the rink anyway. It just feels like friends just shooting the breeze. And that's why I feel like it'll be relatively seamless. I mean, for me, it's just going to be making sure that I am, between this, between writing Canucks and also sprinkling in national, just going to be making sure I get enough sleep every night. That's honestly my biggest worry.
I agree. Sleep's big. You know me,
Massive.
you got to get 5 hours a night. I always tell you.
You put in the chat. My drink is a double plus for sure. I'm starting to feel it. We're gonna need Harman to come save us this show.
No, we'll be all right. We got lots of time left here.
Yeah. Okay. Harman.
I'm feeling good, Bryce. I see Bryce in the chat.
Bryce is in the chat.
I'm feeling good. What's wrong with that?
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Harman, Saturday night against Dallas. Is that going to be the Canucks' toughest test of the season to this point?
Dallas has played 3 games. I think that'll be the 3rd game in 4 nights. So from a rest perspective, that definitely favors the Canucks. I mean, absolutely. Looking at the way Dallas is rolling on paper, it's probably the best, I guess, team that they've played, especially because Edmonton never really got going. But you know what? I'm cautiously optimistic, right? Because the Rangers were also rolling and have continued to roll. You look at their record, and the Canucks played them last Saturday on their second leg of a back-to-back. And credit to the Canucks for a really strong 5-on-5 performance. Now, I think the challenge against Dallas is going to be a little bit different than New York, because New York has feasted on the power. Like, it's a different type of challenge because the Rangers have such an elite power play, and that's where they essentially won the game. The Stars right now are the opposite. Their power play is terrible right now. But 5-on-5, they're a much more dynamic team in creating offense. So it's going to be a tougher, even strength defensive sort of, challenge for the Canucks. And that's going to be sort of, interesting to see. But I'm not too worried about it because, I mean, the Canucks are feeling confident right now. And again, Dallas is going to be a little bit tired, hopefully. So
I think it's a good situation for the Canucks. You kind of touched on it. Like, these are teams that, I mean, with the Dallas Stars, I mean, you're looking at one of the better teams in the NHL right now by record, but so are the Vancouver Canucks. So, like, Saturday is setting up to be a very fun one. I'm expecting it to be the fullest we've seen that building probably at Rogers Arena this season, after the Canucks putting up a 10 spot as well. So, very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to catching as many shows as I can with you guys down the road. Some changes to the schedule, maybe?
Yeah, everybody already. I guess we didn't announce it.
You might want to announce that
2
because
p.m.
if you're starting on
2
Monday.
p.m. next week, starting next week, Monday to Friday. We're not going to have this 1:30 stuff and 1 o'clock random days. It's going to be 2 p.m. every single day, live on the Canucks Army YouTube channel and live from the Sheraton Wall Center. That's the really exciting part.
Yeah, that's right.
We get the new studio. Harman and I are going to go after the show today to check it out. And then Sunday, we're going for a little lunch, little lunch, the 3 of us, me, Grady, and Harman, to talk about the new show. We're very excited. Someone wants me to do a shot. How many are actually in here? Like, what did you actually pour me here?
That's no more than a triple, for sure.
No more than a triple.
No.
That's why I'm Harman. This guy, man. This guy. He knows the double gets me going.
Well, the bottle's got a dent in it, but
I gotta try to walk to Harman's car after this. I don't even know what he drives. I'm gonna be walking around Pacific Boulevard wearing my shacket.
I'll be good. I'll call my wife's parents after this. I'm fine. I'm whatever I want. I'm good.
Anyways, okay, Harman, final thoughts? Anything to close out?
I just can't wait to see what state you're in, Quads, in about 30 minutes when I come pick you up, because you're clearly not stopping, and I'm excited. I feel like this might go off the rails, but in a funny way. So
yeah, I think it will go off the rails.
Faber, just make sure he can stand. Okay, don't leave him out on the road alone.
There's one thing we've done on this show in 492 episodes. It's not straight away from the rails very often. We keep it on the track all the time.
Right. Yeah,
all the time. Never have messed around.
People are pointing out that I'm a lightweight. Yeah, I'm a lightweight.
Yeah. I'll tell a story about Quad.
Shame in that.
We'll let Harm go on this. Well, Harm, appreciate you jumping on. I'm pumped to see what you guys are able to. Not necessarily. I'm not super excited about Monday's show. Y'all can do whatever you want, but I'm excited to watch it grow. Right, like watch what you guys can grow with this show. Built a lot of really fun things in the first 492 episodes, and I feel so great handing it off to you, Harm. I think you're going to crush it in this role, so I'm excited about it.
Thank you so much, Faber. Can't wait to see what you do with the Canucks as well.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. There's Harman Dayal, the new co-host of Canucks Combo, taking over 2 o'clock.
Via Saran in the chat. Chris, call Harman's parents next.
I haven't talked to Harman's parents before. I've never met them.
Okay, fine. Did you want to tell a story about me?
Yeah, one time I went out. It was one of the first times I think you wanted to have a few drinks, and you've drank before, like a drink or two, a glass of wine, but you were like, I want to experience drinking a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'll take you out. And
keep in mind I was 21.
You were 21 at the time, maybe 20. you're legal for sure. And I take you. I bring over like a 6-pack and like a couple of taller drinks as well.
I had my own apartment before I ever got drunk.
Yeah.
That's how my life
So
went.
we're
I had
out
my own
on your-
apartment,
yeah.
on my deck.
We're out on your deck having a couple drinks. This is before Bert was even around too. And halfway through the first can, you're halfway through the first can and you're like, wow, I am starting to feel it. And I was like, oh no, we're in for some trouble then. And that's when you started. That's, I think, where you started ordering Coke and rums. And the bartender never corrected you. And you just kept saying Coke and rums. It's rum and Cokes. Right. It's a very simple thing to say. Yeah. But it was halfway through that first can and you were like, I think I'm starting to feel it already. And I was like, oh wow, like I guess our tolerance are a little different.
Cody Severson in the chat, good friend of mine.
I unmuted him for today too.
That's who I do most of my my drinking activities with is Cody Severson and his wife and my girlfriend.
Yep. You guys will be at the Lions game tomorrow too, right? You said
I don't think he's going.
That's why I can't go.
What's oh yeah, I have been iced. Lachlan in the chat said, Quads, you ever been iced before? I got iced on my birthday. And I didn't want to do it.
I love getting iced.
But
it's one of my favorite things.
Didn't we ice you on your wedding day?
Yeah, and like you guys are all like, oh, gotcha. I loved it. I got
you hammered that. Yeah, that was quick.
I love the ice. We did remember the losers or you missed the bachelor party. At the bachelor party, the losers had to have 2 1-liters taped to their hands until they finished it, and you could pull it off. So the losers of the golf game, which didn't go great for my brother.
Ooh,
because
did he lose?
Yeah, my brother had it, and he had no hands to stop people from getting the fireball going and going into that. So, but yeah, good times. All right, let's get Betway out of the way, and then let's just have some fun. The last one. Let's
Betway 19 plus play. If you choose to play, please play responsibly.
Yeah, I'll get iced whenever. Except now I got to work and stuff, so I got to be careful with that.
I gotta have some
That's
water.
why I wish I could go Lions game. I can't go without having a drink. All right, we'll get to the chat in a minute here. Let's get our Betway out of the way. The great folks at Betway. Good folks over there. Nailed a bet yesterday. What do we got here, Grady? What do we got here? Did I mail it in on the last one? Yeah, 100% I did. So this is the first bet I saw on Betway.com. Our Betway bet of the day. I tell you, I don't remember it either. Our Betway bet is, I'm waiting on Grady. He's working on it. It's Rasmus Dahlin. Over 2.5 shots on net in this game at plus 125. A $10 bet's going to return you $22.50. Did I mail it in? 100%. 100% mailed it in on this.
I already said it 19 plus. Play if you play responsibly.
Yeah.
Okay. Time for anyone else.
Anyone else? Let's get to it. DoorDash. The great folks at DoorDash.
Boy, here we go.
I know they're a sponsor of the show. I use them 3 times a week at least. So I've been very happy with the DoorDash, and I want to give a shout out to DoorDash as well. They've been on board for a long time.
Yeah.
They also hooked it up when I was in Montreal. Do you remember this? They gave me the DoorDash card and they were like, order all the food you want and just give us a video review.
Yes, that's right.
And I did. And I was doing video reviews and people were getting mad at me because I wasn't going out to the stores. I was going out to the stores. I was just eating. I was on the PD 5,000 calorie diet when I was in Montreal. I was eating so much food. I came back. I gained about 15 pounds in that 2-week trip.
Okay, here we go.
I was in the East. I was in Maritimes, Lobster, and then Montreal. I gained, probably closer to 20 pounds in those 2 weeks.
Okay, here we go.
Ding dong.
We're going to get through this together, folks. It's time for anyone else presented by DoorDash. Ding dong. It's our listeners' chance to get involved and hit us up in the YouTube live chat. And it's also our listeners' chance to get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more. That's right. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when they download the DoorDash app and enter code NATION25. All capital letters. That's NATION25. 25% off, $10 value. 0 delivery fees on your first order.
I'll take it.
When you download the DoorDash app. That's code NATION25, all capital letters, for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Offer valid in Canada, subject to change. Terms do apply. I did it. I read. That's our final ad read together.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, great people to support the show.
Yeah, of course. But
no, I think there's a 4 wins one later on, but that's when I'll actually crack.
No, I got 4 wins in.
Did you?
I did.
Okay, well,
I was efficient at the start before you poisoned me. Okay, a lot of questions for anyone else here. A lot of people asking
ding dong
questions.
Yeah, good question off the top. Is Cody Severson getting a raise? Because that's a great
lot of
question.
People want to know.
I think a lot of people are asking about that. I think that's a great idea. If I was the one making the decision, I'd say yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think that's on.
Can Quads comb his hair? Yeah, I got the wind kind of messed me up a little today. The Wind in the Crown.
Donnie Dolly, that's a band name right there. Wind in the Crown.
Wind in the Crown. I like that. Brighter.
Oh,
That's a tough one.
Say it
That's a tough one. Brytor. What kind of name is that?
it's funny because like I'm about to finish my second drink. You've still barely got into your first, and you're the one who's slurring the
I'm
words.
fine. Brightor said, "Are you guys still gonna hang out with each other after this?" We are literally tonight. Well, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I hope you can make it out still.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're having a little
out.
going out.
Yeah, we're
party
having a
tonight.
little
It's gonna
going
be
away.
nice. Yeah. What else do you got?
A lot of questions for you, man. When's your first project with the Canucks coming out?
I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow ride into it, to be 100% honest. I'm going to be in there Monday. We're going to have some exciting things, go over some content ideas off the top. I've got a ton of ideas that I'm excited to get into, and I know that the company's pretty happy about exploring some of those ideas. I don't have an idea for a project. Literally, like, I haven't started yet. I don't start till Monday. I expect to be doing some stuff pretty quickly. The thing that I've been really excited about is how often they've mentioned that they want the prospects in Abbotsford coverage. I love doing that stuff. Okay. It's the stuff that I enjoy doing the most about my type of work. And they are the ones who are saying that we want a lot of that. That's super exciting to me. So I'm really excited to keep that stuff going with the Vancouver Canucks. There's going to be, I got so many messages from the folks out in Abbotsford, like, oh, we're going to miss you out here at the Abbotsford Center. My boy, Marcel Quads. Maurice, your buddy over there. Marcel, he's 2 to 4 weeks after banging his head in the elevator,
right.
But he's all right. And I'm going to see Marcel pretty soon here. I was hoping to go out there tonight, but not driving tonight for sure. We're going to celebrate instead, but going to be covering the Abbotsford Canucks and the prospects. That I think is going to be something in the initial few stages here, the first few steps in. That's what we're going to have some really good coverage of. And I tell you, I like the little piece they did yesterday with the Building Blue, Hunter Brustevich. Like, I'm going to try and add to that and be a big piece of the Building Blue series as well. Going to take a good handle on that starting out. So I'm excited for all that stuff.
All right. Graham said, anyone else, or is this the best podcast in sports entertainment? I love that. That's a great comment. Because I'll tell you what, I don't listen to much other stuff in the market, but I listened to some recently. I was just so bored. Like, I like Donnie and Dolly a lot. I think they have a lot of fun. I'm obviously not going to say whose show I listen to. I was just so bored. I was just like, I was bored. Like, it was not, I don't know.
With the other shows in the market?
Yeah, not all of them. It was just, I was listening and I don't know. I was so bored. Like, it was just like,
I listen
talk
to
about Mark Friedman and how he had 8 goals. Or someone commented that. Mark Friedman's great. Mark Friedman's playing great. But like 30 minutes on Mark Friedman. I get you got to fill airtime. But my goodness, I like how much we have fun.
Yeah,
and Harman and I are still going to have a lot of fun.
People in the chat are different, though. They don't like the having fun stuff. I think that's what it's all about here. We're here to...
I just want to be entertained when I listen to stuff. So I hope I try to be entertaining when I come out here and, talk.
I was just about to mention, I see him in the chat, too. Ryan Schapp, Pucks on Net. They do a great job. They've been doing it longer than anybody.
Ryan said, name names, drunk quads. I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk, to be clear.
How much is left in that cup? Let me see.
Like, a lot. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I can pour that into mine. I don't think you're going to get through that.
I'm fine. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to.
Any question? I know that. Did I see one about being able to guest on the show again? I start on Monday. We'll be able to go from there. It's going to be a slow start, guys. Like, I haven't worked for an organization like this before. It's going to be a little bit of a trial period in the first little bit, but I know that the more meetings I have with the Canucks, the more excited I am about this job. I don't think they're looking to change much. They want my type of coverage. There's a reason why I think they asked me to walk into this position and do my job. I think that's what I've found from all these meetings that I've had recently is I don't think a lot's going to change. There's certainly going to be some things that'll change, but I don't think everything's going to change like some people are thinking. I'm still going to be able to do a lot of the same type of coverage.
The thing I told everybody, because people were like, is Faber going to be allowed to be negative? I'm like, what, you want him to get hired by the Canucks and start being negative? I'm like, when's the last time you said something negative?
It's been a few weeks for sure.
Well, a few weeks. It's been longer than that, especially about a prospect. What's the worst thing? What's the worst thing you've ever said about a prospect?
I mean, I've reported concussions and I've reported injuries.
That's reporting.
That's negative-ish.
Yeah, negative-ish. Okay. A lot of really good comments here. People saying this is entertaining. Bro got some lick and started spitting facts.
I think the funniest thing is I wish people could see how much is actually coming out of your cup.
Quite a bit.
There's so much left.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he must be finished that thing by now. I think this is my second here, but
yeah. We got a lot here.
And I do see a lot of the comments, just people wishing me the best. Yeah, thank you so much. Like Quinn, I'm reading your comment here, wishing you all the best. Faber, we are cheering you on. I appreciate that. I love the opportunity I think I'm going to get is just incredible to do exactly what I want to do, and have all the access to do it. I'm so pumped for it. So excited for this job. It would have taken a lot for me to leave what we were doing here at Canucks Combo and Canucks Army. I don't think there would have been another job in the world that I would have left, aside from like actually running an Arby's. Aside from that, like I think it would have taken a job from the Vancouver Canucks to make me leave what was going on here at Canucks Army and Canucks Combo. That's for sure.
There's a lot of good things going on here. And like we were going to go into that studio together, the Wall Center studio. Like we knew that was all coming. And we were excited to do that, but obviously very excited with Harm coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a great spot. The show's in a great spot, and Harm's going to bring a little bit of a different feel for sure. But man, Harm's good at what he does. And I think if once you guys build a little bit of chemistry, and he mentioned it when he was just on with us, 5 days a week kind of forces you to build chemistry, right? It's going to be a ton of it to do it. And I feel really good about Canucks Army and the place they're in. Like the prospect coverage that's going to be lacking when I leave, that's not happening. Like Dave Hall is crushing it. The only thing I'm worried about Dave is consistency, because right now there's no questions about that. If he can keep it up what he's doing right now, he's going to be great. What do you got?
Do you get a day with the Stanley Cup when the Canucks win it?
I haven't talked about that yet, but if I do, it'll be at the Landlubber. I'll tell you that. It'll be in
that's so funny.
at the Landlubber. 100%.
BC Ferries has the Stanley Cup on it. Oh
no, I'll take a flight. I'm not taking the BC. You know me and the BC Ferries. I don't want.
Well, I mean, now you get private jet.
No, I'll be on the Hulu.
No, you get You think that's a plane? The Hulu's
No, that's what I said. I'll take the Hulu. I'd rather take the Hulu than the BC Ferries.
Then you have to carry the cup.
How cool is that? You're walking around with a freaking Stanley Cup.
I guess the guy follows you.
Does he?
Well, yeah, the keeper. You think they're just gonna say, "Yeah, okay, Chris Faber from Nanaimo, you can walk on to the walk-on passenger ferry that drops you in downtown Nanaimo,
right,
with the cup, and you think you just get to go home?" No, that guy follows you around.
How did he let the cup get all busted up then, and all the things, and they threw it in the
he was reprimanded for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, people want another Burt Cam. He's been so good.
Listen,
I don't.
It's not about moving to the Canucks to be too good for. I'd take BC Ferries. I have to. I can't afford the other stuff.
Oh, Bert saw the camera moving.
On the BC Ferries,
Bert saw the camera moving. You can see all my Lego in there.
He knows he's on camera. Look at him. He's staring right at the camera.
Yeah, he just woke up. He's heard the camera moving around. There he is. Little Bert Cam.
Does he ever get the zoomies? Like, is that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Bert's had zoomies many a times. Many a times. You saw him get zoomies at the park the other day, remember?
Well, that's because he was just running around at a park. I get that.
Well, he does that in the house too.
Yikes, not as much space in there.
Got to end the shows with a Faber cam going forward.
You can see my office from here, actually.
No, you can't.
No, I think I'm on the other side.
We're going to set up a Faber cam. We'll put it in your office. Sound good?
No, I'll be working too hard.
Okay, so what's the plan here?
I don't know.
If you take the cup on the ferry, you got to eat a pirate pack out of it. What an interesting.
Best thing about those pirate packs is those little chocolate coins that it comes with.
Yeah. Okay, someone wants to know if you're gonna do a podcast with the Canucks. Sorry to keep throwing these at you. I know you don't know if you're gonna do it yet, right?
Things are gonna start slow, like I said, and we'll see where it goes from
The
there.
new job does have you in media scrums. People are asking that, and this is Call of the Wild asked how long it takes me to write an article. I don't know. Depends on the length. I could whip up like a 300 word in like 10, 15 minutes. And then the longer ones, the ones I really like to, like morning skates usually take me about 45 minutes or 30 minutes to write. But the process of getting all that information probably takes about an hour, 2 hours. But I like that series a lot because I think it's something that I felt as a fan. I wanted that. Like I wanted to know without having to check Twitter who was in the lineup, right? Like I wanted to know everything interesting that was said at a morning skate. And thankfully, Rick Tockett's the coach. And now interesting things are usually said at these morning skates and practices. So I really like that series. We've got Jeff Patterson helping out with that. And he's done a bang up job.
I said this on yesterday's Rink Wide. Jeff's the best reporter in the market as like a straight up sports reporter of asking questions, getting audio, doing all these things. You guys got a great one there, which I'm so happy that Jeff's joining Canucks Army. And jumping ship, what he was doing there at Hockey News was good, but I know I'm excited to see what he does with you guys at Canucks Army. Like, come on, what a great replacement! Are you kidding me? No one's even going to miss me. Like, you got Harman replacing me and Jeff replacing me at Canucks Army. Where'd all the money come from to get these guys locked up? Are you kidding me? Come on, it's better than me. Both of them are better than me at what they do. Like they're in a better spot.
I'm
You
not,
guys
I'm
are in a
not,
better
I'm not
spot
drunk
after
enough.
me leaving.
I'm not drunk enough to start talking about where all the money came from.
Use promo code Nation25.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Any other questions in here before the streams? I mean, we got close to 150 people in here. Any more questions? Get them in before if we run out of questions, we're gonna have to shut her down.
Jim Rutherford in the chat saying, Faber, you can say no comment in all capital letters. I'm just joking. It wasn't Rutherford.
No.
I chatted with Jim recently, just like a quick pleasantries. Told him he had a good one with you, and that I was wishing him all the best because of hiring you. And I said you got a good one in Chris Faber, and he said, "Yep, appreciate that." I'm gonna start doing my Rutherford impression again. When
maybe on Monday.
on Monday. Yes, I won't do it today.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited to get started. I think Monday is going to be a really fun day.
Do you want to talk about how good the management's been for the Canucks? Because this was a threat, and I'm not just saying this as a joke.
We need to.
No, I'm not just saying this as a joke and to be like, oh, house media. This was a thread that Jackson McDonald had on Twitter. Harewood Elementary.
Hey,
exactly.
Anybody who went to Harewood, well, there's a few people that went to Harewood who are doing great. Not everyone.
Anyways, I just want to say Jackson had this thread. And I thought it was a great thread because he's like, this start is just proving that making smart, low cost, low risk additions was probably all this team needed. And it's crazy what this team can do when they're not being actively sabotaged by the general manager, which is what we saw during the Benning regime. And that was a really good point, I thought, from Jackson. Because look, we've talked about Hronek, all these guys that they've targeted, their pro scouting has been night and day better than before. And like, I just think it's so funny that Rutherford comes to Vancouver and is like, we don't like this guy, this guy, this guy, or this guy. And it's all the players that fans and media have been saying forever, yeah, we don't like this guy. We don't think he should be on the team. And Rutherford says the same thing. That's how you connect with a fan base. Kudos to Jim Rutherford, Rick Tocchet, even Alvin, all those guys. I don't know. It's good vibes right now. Hiring Chris Faber. What are they? 22-7 on
23-7, yeah.
23-7
Sure.
on the
that's a good little tweet from me last night. Good job digging up that stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped to get going here with it. It's been a really cool time. I'll do my little monologue here
go ahead.
On the Canucks Conversation. So I started the Canucks Conversation, I guess it was like 2018, November of 2018 or 2019, one of those years. I started the show very early. Did 60 episodes of just interviewing people. I felt that Canucks Conversation had success because it was, I know it was my idea, but it was an idea that nobody else had at the time, which was to talk to regular texters, callers, people like you, or you were at the Canuck Way at the time, like just people that were blogging about the team and like spend 30 minutes having a conversation. Hence the name Canucks Conversation, which the freaking logo already in here. It doesn't even have my name in it.
Odds and Harman.
My last show.
See you later, buddy.
But the idea, like, it worked so well because the fan base here in Vancouver is so connected on social and so engaged. You hear the jokes from the guys and the national guys, right? Like about the Vancouver market. It's true. They're passionate. And that's something that this show, I think, was able to latch onto in the early stages. We grew from there, of course, but we continue to do very similar things of involving different voices. How many different guests do we have on this show that we're never getting chances on, the major network radio shows, right? Like the guests that we were able to have, Danny G, how good was he as a guest? Alexa Potak, what she's doing over there at UMass, and she was with the New York Rangers this year. Like the guests that we were able to have on the show, it just made for good Canucks conversations. And that's what the goal was from this show from the very start. It's been so much fun to do this show. I'm going to miss doing this show. It was like the project when I first started this. For people who don't know the backstory, I was kicked off of a Canucks podcast 3 months before starting this show. I was on a Canucks podcast. I won't bring up the name. I was on a show for...
Can I bring up the name?
No, I was on a show for I think 9 months with these guys. They kicked me off and I went to a different outlet. I decided to start my own thing and just talk to people. And it worked out. It grew into what I had at Canucks Army. Almost 5 years at Canucks Army. That was incredible. So much fun. And I see his name here in the chat with Jason Botchford. Like, that's what cranked things up 100%. It was when Botchford passed away, like, there was such a huge void to fill. And I think Canucks media, Canucks Twitter, everybody has done such a good job continuing on. Like, the legacy of what Botch did so well in this market has been continued on so well. And it was one of the most incredible moments of my media career last year was meeting Kat Botchford and the kids at a Canucks game last year. And I thought that was incredible. And just to be able to have a conversation with her and let her know how much her husband meant to me was awesome. That was incredible. And that's what we've tried to continue on this thing. I know that you and I have been so inspired by Jason Botchford and the way that he did, because I think both of us at different points in our lives, I would have been my mid-20s. You were still a high school kid, but like how attached we got to sports media because of Botch and the way that he did things on the radio and his writing with everything he did. We tried to do so much of what he did. I remember my early stages of writing, like going through his articles and just like copying the tone of how he did things and how he I know both of us did that. So to continue on, like that's the type of style that we felt we wanted to do with this show. And I know you and I did that when you and I were hosts of the show. So I just had a blast doing it so much. I'm really going to miss what I built here. Bummed that I couldn't get to 500 episodes. You guys are going to hit it in like 8 shows here. It's just really funny. But man, we had a really good run with this show. You and I have worked together for a long time, spent so many hours together. I'm excited to take you out of my favorites of the chat. You're out of there now, Quads, just so you know. That top thing on the text messages, I know it's a stab to the heart. You're not in there anymore. My wife's going to take your spot. So that says a lot about how much we have actually talked over the last 5 years.
Well, here come the waterworks.
I know. Well, yeah, because you're coming out of the favorites. You can't be in there anymore. But we have like the amount that people don't understand how much we've had to communicate. It's rare that in the last 5 years we've gone 2 hours without having to text each other about something, right? Like that is how much we've had to work to grow this thing. We've spent a lot of time, a lot of hours growing Canucks Army, a lot of time growing this show. The support of people from the Patreon that they did to give us the opportunity to buy a Roadcaster, to have the best type of audio quality. That's been my thought through this whole thing is like, I really wanted to make sure that every piece of content we put this out, and I know this pissed you off to a certain degree, but like everything had to be, I wanted it all to sound the exact same, look the exact same. Your freaking file names that you put into the goddamn things, it pisses me off so much because I like everything to be real nice and ordered. But the main thing we did, and we did this from the start of this show, was make sure that the quality was at the highest thing possible, right? Like we made sure that the audio quality was the highest. We spent the money on the video, and that was a lot because of the people that were supporting us on Patreon and that type of thing. I'm really going to miss what we had here with this show, but I know you guys are continuing on and still going to have a lot of fun on this show and still going to bring some of the best Canucks conversation in the market about this team with the show that you and Harman are doing. So I'm really excited about that. We can do a couple more questions here in the chat if you want, but I just needed to get that out real quick.
No, that was very sweet. People want us to hug, and I'm sure we will.
We've never hugged. Maybe
yeah, we have.
We probably have, yeah.
I mean, it was very horrible circumstances. It was a tragic thing that happened to one of us, but I don't think we should bring that up, but we have hugged.
Yeah.
I don't give memorable hugs?
I don't know.
Really? That's hurtful. Didn't we hug at your wedding?
Yeah, we hugged at the wedding. We got it on video, actually.
So we've had 2 hugs.
Well, at least someone.
Yeah, we have 2 hugs.
Yeah.
When do we want to close the Patreon? Because we just posted the wedding speech.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll close it.
We'll close it eventually. I think enough people can watch.
I mean, we can't do an episode. We gotta, thank you to all the Patreon subscribers over the years. You mentioned it. They helped us get a Roadcaster improved. Lisa, longtime supporter.
Yeah. Lisa's been a supporter forever.
Jack was one of our first supporters as well.
Jackson's been great.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough. I don't want to.
I'm a big hugger. It's just Quads and I aren't hugs. We're not hug guys.
I'm a hug guy.
I'm a hug guy too, but you and I don't do it often.
No, we don't.
No.
I don't know why that is.
Our bodies don't match well for a hug.
That's true,
I
actually.
think that might be part of it.
I'm going to see you at the rink a lot, too, still. So
yeah, no hugs.
I don't think there's going to be any hugging. But, yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm very excited that it's going to be kind of
Adam Tate's been a long time Patreon.
Yeah.
As well, everybody.
Yeah, he said he liked the wedding speech. My wedding speech was good.
I
stayed away from this stuff. I was very careful. They started, all those Nanaimo folks, they started drinking at 2:00.
They were turning on you.
Yeah. And they were like, have a drink. I was like, nope. I'll fall asleep at 6:30 and not be around for my speech. So hugging Faber must heat you to the core, Call of the Wild says.
It is. You can tell the crown's hitting. My face is going pretty red on the camera here.
Does the work get in the way of the hugs?
Yeah, like man,
We do work a lot.
yeah, it's been so like the work we do is really fun, but man, we've been able to put in a lot of work to do it, like to get to this point. I think that's the coolest
Yeah.
part. The coolest part seeing everything come from it, right? Like the work is fun, it's great, it's hockey, it's very good, but it is a lot of the time. Like when I first started out doing this, I remember like not being able to go out with my friends on Fridays and Saturdays because I was doing color commentary and writing about the team in the VIJHL for the VIU Mariners. Like, and people are like, what do you like? People told me back then, like, you're wasting your Saturday nights, right? You're wasting your Saturday nights not coming out and having your good time with your friends. And did I miss out on a lot of good times? For sure. But looking back now, I don't know if you can find any of those articles about the VIU hockey team. I still got the toque, but like it is pretty cool to see it all come to worth it. It took a lot of work. A lot more than I did at the mill. That's for sure.
Huge thanks obviously goes out to Jay Downton, everybody at Playmaker,
Downtown
Nation
Jay,
Network.
yep.
Yeah, Downtown Jay. Like Jay was the first guy who really believed in us. Like
in this market,
he believed in what we
Canucks
were doing in
Army.
the market. He made a really strong push to get you full time, to get me full time. Like this was our careers. Like this was our jobs, right? And huge shout out to Jay because Jay's always believed in us. Still does. He's coming out on Monday. I'll probably say hi to you at some point.
Yep.
I'll let you know. I think I'm going to meet him in the intermission, so I'll text you about that. But anyways,
oh yeah, he's coming to the game.
yeah, huge shout out to Jay Downton, our fearless leader at Nation Network.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, the investment
the first
doesn't
one I've
stop in the Vancouver market, right? Like you saw, like, look, again, not trying to pump my boss's tires too much, but
No, go for
you
it.
left, right? That money they could have been
And
like,
you
okay,
freaked the hell out. Some people don't know on the Sunday or the night that I told you.
They could have turned around and said, okay, well, we're gonna put that money in the Toronto market. Quads, you can host Canucks Convo solo. We're whatever. They could have done any number of things, but they immediately just said, okay, what do you want and how can we get it for you? And I said, I want Harman Dayal and I want Jeff Patterson. And here we are. Both of those guys are signed. We had yeses from them literally like the day you announced you were leaving. We already knew they were coming on, and it was very nice to kind of get that support. So I just want to give a shout out to Nation Network and to Jay for investing in this market. Obviously, it means a lot to both of us. It means a lot to Canucks fans. I know that there's a media company out there that is investing and believes in Canucks fans. And
well, it's not just that, but it's the Nation Network. I have to give them so much props because they are producing such good local sports content, and you don't get that from everything nowadays. A lot of it is about big money. Where's the big money coming from?
Yeah.
That's the team that's being covered. The fact that you're seeing here from the investment from Nation Network, they've done an incredible job investing in the Canucks, investing in Canucks Army, investing in Canucks Convo, investing in local coverage, all the stuff they do in Edmonton. I know I make jokes about them having this big office with 40 people in there, but respect to them, they're at least trying, all 47 of those people, they're in there to create Oilers content. They got 54 people walking around the office, and they are creating Oilers content every day for the folks out there. They're trying to grow that here in Vancouver. So continue to support them at Canucks Army. Continue to support the sponsors that are helping make this possible and pay our salaries and all these type of things. That's how it works, folks. Like the companies that are here on the show supporting us, they're the reason we're able to do this for local Canucks content. So thank you to Nation Network for that. I want to give a shout out to Nation Network as well for giving me an opportunity to go to the last 2 NHL drafts. I met a lot of good people there in the hockey world. Quads, you're going to have to replace me. You got to do some. I know you don't like to travel. You got to start going to the drafts, man. Drafts are a good time. We got meet a lot of good people. I was doing Jaeger bombs with Elliot Friedman at the last draft.
That's the best.
It was great.
Might go to Stockholm.
And Cole Lind. I saw Cole Lind down there at
Tootsie's. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
His brother, yeah. Oh, Bert's moving. Final Bert Cam. I'll probably do Bert Cam still on the new show. We'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
But
look at him. He's trying to find his crate. He wants to go back to bed.
All right. Any final thoughts? We'll close it out. Harman's waiting for me, I think. Gotta get downstairs.
No, I think I just want to say thank you. I mean, since we're here on YouTube and the podcast, people are going to hear this later on in the day, but thank you so much to everyone who engaged with the show over the years. This whole thing here on YouTube was it was a bumpy transition for us a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time we had 12 people in here watching the show. It's grown from there. The podcast listeners through and through have always been there. We've always put up really good numbers on the podcast. And that's something why Nation Network wanted to invest, continue to support this show. Thank you to everyone so much who listened, shared this show, supported this show, whatever it was. Anytime you comment on a tweet, it helps. Anytime you retweet or like or do something on Instagram or tell a friend about this show, it helps us so much more than you could imagine. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to try not to tear up here. I'm really going to miss this. This has been like the best part of my life in my whole life, doing all this type of stuff. I'm really going to miss it, but the new opportunity that I have around the corner is incredible. It could be the job that I do for the next 40 years of my life. Like, it really could. If everything fits well and everything works out, this could be what I'm doing. Bring content to Canucks fans for like the next 40 years until I retire. So I hope that that's how everything works out. And thank you to everybody in the comments, behind the scenes, with producer Alex, producer Aaron, producer Grady now taking over. Like, everyone has meant so much, and the support system has been incredible. And that's why we've made it. And that's why this is happening. And that's why this show is going to continue to be great. And what I'm going to go do with the Vancouver Canucks, I promise you, is going to be great. I'm going to work as hard as I have here. And now with the access that I have with this team, we're going to create some freaking awesome coverage, man. It's going to be incredible. So that's it for me, man. Thanks for everyone for everything. Like, everything that you guys have done has helped in a certain way. So thank you for that.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You did great. You did great work on this show for years. It was an honor to be asked to be your co-host back in 2021, and I'm not trying to make you cry. I've had a little bit to drink. And no, in all seriousness, Chris, working with you has changed my life. You know that already. People already know the story, but the way I got started was messaging a guy on Twitter who I saw shotgunning beers, and saying, "Hey, I see you blog about the Canucks. I think I'm a good writer. I'd like to get started doing that." And then my master plan of becoming your boss happened 2 months later.
Yeah. You became my boss at 2 different outlets.
Yeah, because you tried to run and I followed you.
Yeah, both times. Now we'll see what happens.
I was inevitable.
Yeah. I think Jim Rutherford's gonna be on line 1 with you pretty quick.
No, I think Jim Rutherford's gonna say this stops here once he hears the impression. But anyways, okay. Do we close it out there?
Bring it in, man. Come on in my camera here. People can see that I wear sweatpants every goddamn show here. Anyways, love you, buddy. Thanks for everything. Keep it going.
Oh, I was on my tippy toes there.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. I'm still going to be around. It's just going to be a little bit different. But man, I'm going to be around. You can bet on that. Thanks to everyone. Love everybody. Love you all. Thank you so much for everything. We'll wrap it up there, Grady. Take us out of here. For one last time, I'll say it. I'll close this out here. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Canucks Conversation. Canucks Conversation with Quads and Faber. New episodes every weekday, 1:30 across the board, except for Wednesdays, 1 o'clock. We'll see you there live on the Canucks Army YouTube channel. For more information, visit CanucksArmy.com.
How about keep it to a thank you, Jim?